Welcome to this KiwiVision video tutorial. Today we want to talk about the PeopleCounter. The PeopleCounter is a video analytics module, which counts people automatically in multiple directions. It can be used to generate detailed statistics or alerts based on the counting results. The focus of this tutorial is the configuration of the PeopleCounter itself, and we will also talk about the camera requirements to get decent results. Let's start with the configuration. First, add a new instance by clicking on the new instance icon. Type in a name. Select PeopleCounter as type. Save the instance. And start the wizard. At the very first step, you need to choose your camera. Therefore, type in the IP address of your video server, press connect and select the camera you want to analyze. You will see the video playback in the video viewer. Afterwards, click next. The next step is the calibration of the typical size of a person in the video. This can easily be done by pulling the yellow rectangle over a person. The rectangle should embrace the head and the shoulders but not the legs and arms. When you are satisfied, click next. Now you need to define the counting lines. There is already one counting line predefined in the middle of the scene. Ideally, the position of the counting line is where the camera field of view is 90 degrees to the floor. Here we have the same scene with a slightly tilted camera. In this case, I would recommend to move the counting line a bit to the top. You can add another line by clicking the Add Counting Line icon in the toolbox. For example, to count people who are turning left. In some cases, like this, it is necessary to define a more complex line. Therefore, we can add more points to the line. In such a scenario, we need to make sure that the opening door does not cross the counting line. Additionally, people coming from the left or from the right must be counted. With the toggle direction icon, you can choose in which direction you want to count, up, down or both. The last thing which needs to be done is to give a name to our line and the directions. With these names we can filter the counts to generate statistics or alarms. Then we move forward to the parameters section. Under parameters we can adjust some visualization options. Values for learning the scene background, activate the CSV output and select the analysis resolution. But first I will show you how to activate the live analysis mode. With the live analysis mode you will see the results of the counter directly in the wizard. This is very helpful to find the right settings for different scenarios. Therefore go to Tools, Options, and activate Use Live Analysis. Now I play the video in the video viewer. After a short learning period, the counting results are visualized in the video. The display time range defines the time range for visualization of the results in the video. If for instance 1 minute is selected, the number of people who crossed the line within the last minute will be visible. As you may have noticed, there were some missed counts. To better understand why they were missed, you have two other visualization options. When you enable show tracking, you will see colored circles in the video viewer. These circles indicate found objects. Show foreground objects will add a red overlay to the video. The red overlay is a visualization of all foreground pixels. The PeopleCounter learns the color of the background, which is the static part of the scene. All objects which are not part of the background are marked red. The Startup learning period defines how long it takes to learn the background when the module starts. This is indicated by the learning bar in the top left corner. How long it takes until a new added object will be learned into the background is defined by the continuous learning period. Let me explain this on another example. When the car drives in, it is marked red, indicating it as foreground. But after 5 seconds it is learned into the background. This value needs to be increased when people are standing around under the counting line. In our case, where people are just passing by, we can reduce it to 1 second. The detection tolerance defines the color difference between people in the foreground and the background of the scene. A high value will result in no detections and a low value will detect everything as foreground just because of the image noise. In our case we will need a value of 30 to get good results. Now the counting is correct and we can focus on the last parameters. Here you can enable the CSV report, which will create a file in the specified folder. Each line of the file indicates a count, with the camera UUID, the UTC and local timestamp and the line and direction name. The analysis resolution should always be at 640 by 480 pixel. Only in rare cases, for example if the people to count are very small in the image, you may want to change this value. Then move forward to the General section by clicking Next. Here you can change some logging parameters and network ports. Just leave the logging parameters unchanged and make sure the used network ports are unique by clicking on the warning signs. The Listen port is internally used to communicate with the KiwiVision control server and the KiwiVision video server. The virtual camera port is the port used to stream over the HTTP protocol and the RTSP port is used to create a RTSP stream. When you are done you can finish the configuration. Now we are back in the instance management. Here you need to save the instance one more time. Afterwards you can start the instance. And then open the video viewer. Now check the live counting results. Now let's talk about the camera requirements. First you need to make sure that the camera is mounted in a top-down direction. Otherwise the people counter cannot count people walking behind each other. Second, make sure the camera distance to the floor is higher than 2.5 meters or 8.2 feet. The minimum resolution is 320 by 240 pixel and the minimum frame rate is 8 fps. Additionally the camera must be mounted in such a way that opening doors will not cross the counting lines. At the end I will give you some best practice advices. To save computational power you can use a low resolution stream. 640 by 480 pixel and 15 fps is sufficient in most cases. Do not use a wide angle camera. Try to avoid a floor with different colors or shadows or highlights in the field of view. Finally all automatic camera adjustments should be disabled.